radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio for the masses. Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing? Today's Thursday, June 18th, 2020. 170 days into the new year, only 196 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday night. It is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Your conversation, your calls about UFOs, the supernatural, paranormal, conspiracy theory, time travel, lost history, music, guitars, food, Baby Yoda. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Baby Yoda. Hanging out here at the studio. All right. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. It is open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. I will open up the phone lines at the bottom of the hour. You know the drill. All right. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Okay? At JChurchRadio. Join the conversation right there in the sandbox. Hashtag F2B on Twitter. Any questions or comments? Hashtag F2BQ. Oh, I just said questions or comments. No, that's just questions. Any questions? Hashtag F2BQ. Yeah, you don't want to end up in the corner. You don't want to have your nose to the wall. You just don't want to do it. All right. Calls coming in already. All right, I'll put you on hold. You can sit on hold. Okay. Let's see. Where am I? What was I just getting ready to say? All right, I'll put you on hold too. Okay? All right? You guys want to call? You're just going to sit on hold for 25 minutes. Okay. All right. Where was I? Oh, hashtag F2BQ. Fade to Black questions. Hello to everybody on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook, Spreaker, of course, TalkStream Live, KGRA, The Planet. We have 2 chat rooms open, one over at Spreaker, one over at KGRA, The Planet. You can engage over there. I hang out most of the night right there on Twitter, okay? Because it's right in front of me and it's automatic. I don't have to click. I don't have to wonder what's going on. I use TweetDeck, and it's automatic. It's beautiful. So that's what I do. So if you want to hit me directly, get in my face, hashtag F2BQ is the place to do it. All the rest of the Fadernauts hang out in hashtag F2B, which is called the Sandbox. All right, visit all of our sponsors like GetTheT.com, where you can get your immune system boosted to the levels it needs to be. All right, head over to GetTheT.com. Get yourself some of that red vinegar capsules. Oh, man. I haven't missed a beat. I'm going on almost 2 weeks of taking the red vinegar capsules, and what a change. What a change. I mean, direct. I called Ronnie up. I'm like, Ronnie, man, seriously, dude. I did. I really did, and thanked him personally. So you've got to go and check that out. All orders over $50 with the promo code FADER, FADER, will get you free shipping. And when you're over at JimmyChurchRadio.com, visit all of our sponsors. That's how this show happens. River Moon Coffee, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv, right? Billy Carson's new internet TV network. All of the coffee from River Moon, like, of course, the Fade to Black blend and Game Changer, right? Hoffman's Optics. You know, these are the things that keep this show on the air. Okay, so visit and purchase. That's what you need to do. Okay, all right. Let's get to the breaking news. Facebook today said it had taken action against ads run by President Trump's re-election campaign for breaching its policies on hate. The ads, which attacked what the Trump campaign described as dangerous mobs of far-left groups, and that's a quote, featured an upside-down triangle. Facebook removed the ads today. Before it was pulled down, the paid ad was seen almost 1 million times in Facebook users' feeds on Trump's page. That's right. Wow. I mean, the news gets crazier every single day. It just, I can't imagine it getting any crazier, but it is doing just that. The good news, I've been waiting for this to happen for a long time. The city and county of Los Angeles today have reached a deal to bring almost 7,000 homeless people indoors. The city will provide 6,000 new beds within 10 months, and 700 more beds over 18 months. The agreement comes after U.S. District Judge David Carter, back in May, ordered the city and county to humanely relocate into a shelter homeless people living near freeway overpasses, underpasses, and ramps, or provide an alternative housing option. Yeah, you can't drive anywhere in Los Angeles, underpass, overpass, bridge, on-ramp, off-ramp, and not see the homeless. And apparently, now I was listening closely to the news today about this, there is, because those properties are federally funded and state funded, and because of the way that they are owned and maintained, it's illegal. It's illegal to stay there. So they can go and legally remove anybody that is there. So that's it. I think it's a great move. Off of the streets, safer place, and that's it. But we've got to, it's a start. It's not perfect, but it's a start of getting a handle on the homeless situation here in Los Angeles, and I know it's the same thing across the country. The homeless is a real big deal, is a real big issue. So there you go. Well, it was announced today, happened yesterday. Jean Kennedy Smith, a former diplomat and the last surviving sibling, the sister of President John F. Kennedy, died yesterday in her New York apartment. She was the 8th child out of 9 in a family that was such a major force in American politics and society for decades. Camelot is over. She was 92 years old. Absolutely incredible. The Star Works UFOs Artificial Intelligence Conference in Laughlin, Nevada is going on November 5th through the 8th. I want you to visit StarWorksUSA.com for tickets and info. We're going to have 2 Sky Watches that I am going to host. 2 Fade to Black Sky Watches, one on Thursday, one on Friday. I look forward to you guys being there. Now, Sixto Paz is going to be hanging out with us Friday night at the Sky Watch. Yeah. And Grant Cameron's going to be hanging out. I know James Fox is going to hang out. So come. And the things that we're going to see that night, we're at a ancient petroglyph site, which is 8 miles from the conference. We're going to have great visibility of the sky. So you're going to want to come and check that out. But tickets and info right now at StarWorksUSA.com. And the biggest event in the world, the biggest mass meditation event in the world is Disclosure Fest. It's going on October 10th. That is Saturday, October 10th, at the historic Los Angeles Park in downtown Los Angeles. I will be hosting. I've been hosting this event now for 4 years. 20,000 attendees last year. We'll see with everything that's going on what's going to happen this year. But it's on 70 acres. I think it's 70. Or is it 35? Did I double it in my mind? It's a big open park right next to Chinatown in Los Angeles. So come and hang out with us. It's a one-day free event. Go to disclosurefest.org. You can see the list of speakers and music and artists and presenters and yoga. And, of course, the mass meditation, all the events that are going on there. It's absolutely incredible. And you can also support all of the initiatives that go on all year long with disclosurefest.org. It's nonprofit, okay? Disclosurefest.org. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Sir Paul McCartney. 78 years old. At least this version of Paul is 78. Well, look, if he's a stand-in, then this birth date is the old Paul's birth date. So we don't even know this version of Paul how old he actually is, right? I kid. Maybe I'm not. Anyway, it's his birthday today, 78 years old. Isabella Rossellini, today, 68 years old. Incredible. Guns N' Roses keyboardist, my good friend I've known for almost 40 years, Dizzy Reed, today is 57 years old. And our dead guy's birthday today, strange coincidence, I do it every year, West Arkeen, 1960 to 1997, died at the age of 37. West was never an official member of Guns N' Roses, but Axl Rose considered adding him as a third guitarist. Now, Arkeen was co-writing the songs It's So Easy, Crash Diet, Bad Obsession, The Garden, Sentimental Movie, and Yesterday's with Rose. And Arkeen also penned Make Your Play and Pressure for the band Brother Kane. And the singer Brother Kane, I'll let this one slip out. I used to be his guitar tech, went on tour. Yeah, I did when I was a kid, a long time ago. Anyway, as well as co-writing My Misery for Phantom Blue. On May 30th, 1997, West was found dead right here in the Valley at his home at the age of 36. It's sad because his death, or he's 37, his death was ruled an accidental opiate overdose. On this day in history, OTD 1984, talk radio icon Alan Berg, the self-described man you love to hate, is gunned down and killed instantly in the driveway of his home in Denver, Colorado. Alan Berg's story provided the inspiration for Oliver Stone and Eric Bogosian's 1988 film, Talk Radio. How many times have you watched Talk Radio? And if you haven't, go check it out. But I watched that film over and over again. It's an incredible film. Fate or fact? Okay, here you go. This is for you, Fadernauts. Baseball Hall of Famer Larry Walker was fixated on the number 3. He wore number 33 on his jersey. He was married on November 3rd at 3:33 p.m. And his phone number had as many threes as the phone company would allow. Then, in 1993, he signed a $3 million contract. And that is your Fader Fact. Tonight's Fader Night, open lines all night long. Call number is 747-228-2051. Now, let me hit that River Moon Coffee. RiverMoonCoffee.com. You can go to the Amazon store for River Moon Coffee. The links are right there at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Baby Yoda hanging out here in the studio. And I mentioned all of these things like Baby Yoda, River Moon Coffee, right? I do all of these things. Google Chrome extensions are downloaded more than 32 million times. Now, they were used to spy using the popular browser's users, and it was a massive global surveillance campaign. And all of this is according to a new report that was just released. The report from cybersecurity firm Awake Security found at least 111 malicious or fake Chrome extensions capable of taking screenshots, stealing login credentials, and capturing passwords as users type them. The campaign impacted a wide range of sectors, including financial services, healthcare, and government organizations. Extensions allow users to add features and capabilities to their browsers, allegedly, such as streaming Netflix shows simultaneously. And we get that, right? But the new report highlights the potential for fraudulent extensions to do harm and compromise a wide variety of systems. Google today confirmed that all browser extensions flagged by Awake have since been removed. And that should scare you. Awake linked all of the extensions associated with the spying campaign back to Galcom, an Israeli web hosting company that claims to manage around 250,000 browser domains. Now, I'm going to quote from the report right now. Quote, by exploiting the trust placed in it as a domain registrar, Galcom has enabled malicious activity that has been found across more than 100 networks we've examined. All right? Awake went on and added that they found more than 15,000 Galcom domains that were malicious or suspicious. End quote. The lesson learned here? Never, ever add a browser extension. There's no reason to do it. Every extension I've added over the years did nothing but cause problems. Had to go and uninstall it. Ads popping up, direct this, that. Couldn't do it. It's not done to help you. It's done to help them, to spy on you. Just don't do it. Ever. Now, since we're talking about spying, a couple of years ago, there was quite the dust-up going around about big tech listening to our private conversations, and then advertising would pop up in our Facebook feeds and other feeds that were based on keywords that only happened during those private talks that we were having with friends and family, and not web searches. I talked about this extensively here on this program. It was brought up in Congress, House of Representatives, and the Senate. Mark Zuckerberg was questioned about it directly, and Mark Zuckerberg said, hey, we don't do it. And it was really interesting. I forget the senator or congressperson that said one of the people that work for me said today that she had a private conversation with somebody, the subject was brought up, and later on that day, she found advertising about the conversation that she was having. She never did a web search. She never typed it in. She never did anything. But suddenly, it's in her news feed. And Zuckerberg's like, well, I don't know anything about it. We would never do anything like that. And I remember hearing it at that time going, I've been talking about this. You, the FADERNIGHTs, this audience, has been talking about this. I've gotten email about this. When I brought it up here on Fade to Black and on Coast to Coast, I got so much email about this. Now, this is the deal. I've spoke about a few things that have happened to me personally. And it was, specifically, there were so many things over the years, but, excuse me, one of them was a camera lens, right? A camera lens. Well, it continues to this day. Now, I still hear people talking about this spying, about this eavesdropping. I do. But I think that we've all gotten pretty used to it by now, and it goes largely ignored. But this is what happened this weekend. We had a little dinner party over at the house this past Saturday. And during the hours-long conversations that were going around the table, the subject came up about the hang gliding club that Steve Murillo was a member of. As a matter of fact, Steve was coming by with Wolf and his wife, Pat. They were going to stop by the party, and he was hang gliding that day, so we were talking about that. And then I described the facilities of their clubhouse, this private group, this private club, and they have a compound. It's beautiful, by the way. And I said this, quote, they have a large raised custom gazebo, and it's amazing, with this railing that has these beautiful braided stainless steel cables. Right? That's what I said. No big deal. You would think. The next day, and every day since, I have been getting advertising for beautiful braided stainless steel cables for your railing. And I'm not making this up. Now, what are the odds of this happening? A zillion, quadzillion to one? Add another zillion just to be safe. And here's the thing. I have never in my life, needed beautiful braided stainless steel cables for anything. I have never searched for them on the net. I've never clicked. I've never typed the words. I'm even more surprised that there is advertising for it. Who is out there buying beautiful braided stainless steel cables from their Facebook feed? The world wants to know. Now, there is also another strange advertiser in my feed. There is, and one that can be explained pretty easily because it's my age. I'm going to be 57 years young this October, which puts me in a pretty specific group of consumers. And then I get it. It's focused, paid advertising. Now, it seems that somebody wants to have me retire in Kansas and buy a home in an exclusive community that has a lake and a nice dining room, right? Serving 3 great meals a day. And these ads are relentless. They pop up in between the braided steel cables, by the way. And here's the deal. When Rita and I retire, it'll be to Belize or Madrid. So please, for the love of God, start sending me those ads. We've got about 6 years to make a decision. Now, a few months ago, while Rita and I were driving back from Las Vegas, we were pulling out of Las Vegas, and we were looking at, these different communities, and you can see the homes and the signs and the billboards for them. And so we're keying in and we're searching these different communities because we specifically know the names of them from the billboards, and we can look at the homes. So that looks pretty cool. So we were doing that, getting an idea of different things and cost and prices. And we clicked and looked at a lot of homes for sale. We did. We spent the better part of probably 2 hours on the drive back looking at homes for sale. Not one ad popped up in my Facebook news feed for Vegas homes for sale. Not one. It doesn't make any sense. They really missed an opportunity for some clicks from me that might have actually panned out. Oh, man. Maybe Facebook is listening right now. My phone is right in front of me. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. Tonight is another Fader night with open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. It's your show. These are your calls on UFOs, the paranormal, supernatural, conspiracy, time travel, lost history, music, food, entertainment, movies, whatever. This is Fade to Black. When I come back after this short break, I'm going to go through all of the calls from last Thursday night so we can come up with a winner. We have to. Your secret memories that were lost. Remember that? I'll go through all of that when we come back. Start taking your phone calls. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. You can follow me right now on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox on Twitter. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
OMG! People are jumping on board to the Life Change Tea Regiment. Brew, steep, and drink for a gentle, taste-great cleanse. It's changing how they feel. See what everybody's talking about. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Life Change Tea aids in digestive slowdown and helps people get moving down a healthy path. We won't make claims. We'll just let you decide. Experience is much better than a commercial anyway. If you want results, log on to getthetea.com and purchase your super strength cleansing tea. You won't be disappointed. And if you're looking for some mind-body suggestions, go to YouTube and punch in the search bar Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. Put power into your health now. So, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com for super strength tea. And YouTube, Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now for valuable suggestions. Get the T.com, the tea that makes you go.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. It is my favorite night of the week. And I want to talk about, really quick, we've got to come up with a winner, and we will do it by the end of the show, for our call-in show last week, because I want to give away an personalized autographed Fade to Black hat. And we've pretty much got a three-way tie that three callers have pulled away from everybody else. And the first one is Doug from Indy with his pitter pat, the feet downstairs, and he was sleeping with his parents. And the second one that is up there is Marina with Mount Vesuvius and remote control. That's the other one. And now you can vote for anybody that you want, but these are the three leaders out there. And the other one was Ryan with his flaming ball in the driveway, and that was pretty interesting. 3 days, 3 days of stuff that was going on 3 days in a row at his house. So, man, what is going on with my cough? So that's what. Those are the three leaders. Those are where most of the votes came in. And no, I'm sorry, it was Nick in Chicago with the orange orb in the driveway, not Ryan. It was Nick. So those are the three leaders, and that had far and away, and it was a virtual tie with the most votes. I would probably say the ratio is like 10-1. So, but you can vote for anybody that you want. But those are the three leaders: Marina, Doug, and Nick. And I would like to hear from all of you. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Marina, and I'll take a tally throughout the show. Marina, Doug, and Nick, and then we'll see what happens by the end of the show. Okay. All right, so with that, let me do this, and I apologize, and then we'll start to get to these phone calls. And the number is 747-228-2051, 747-228-2051. And so with that, let's go to the phones. Let's see who's up first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Ryan from Missouri.
Hey, Ryan, how are you, man?
All right. I'm going to be a little biased. I'll vote for myself from that list. I voted last weekend.
Oh, man. All right, Ryan, I'm going to put you down in little tiny letters right here. Ryan, awesome. 1 vote. Okay, got you, Ryan. You're down. So what's cracking, man?
So I just randomly thought of, a topic to call in about tonight. Bigfoot. I know I've heard you talk about Bigfoot quite a bit, if you're on the fence or not about it. That's like a subject that I want to believe so bad it's real, because I live in rural Missouri, so there's tons of woods and, whatnot. And it's something that, it's, I don't know, with us down, in our area, southern folks, whatever, like, we're big believers in it, most of us anyways. And I wanted to believe it so bad. I've had an encounter somewhat, I don't know if it's a Bigfoot or what, but it was weird. back when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. We were going down an old dirt road in the middle of friggin' nowhere, and something ran across the street, or the road is a dirt road. I don't know if it was a bear. I don't know what it was, but it was huge and, dark. So this is something I want to believe is so real, but, there's not been any evidence that's been, concrete.
What would it take for you? When you say evidence, I mean, obviously a body or captured live would be evidence, but putting that aside, what would convince you?
See, that's the thing, there's been so many great videos, if you actually do research and dig down in. There's quite a bit of videos other than the Patterson-Gimlin that are pretty compelling, but then again, you got about a body, but that's one of the things, would the government hide that up really, really quick if they did find a body, hush it up.
Right.
Yeah,
no.
So maybe there has been bodies found, but it's been covered up.
Yeah, and when we, just like, not like with UFOs, because we get videos every single day, and we have, different scientific communities looking for exoplanets and fast radio bursts and alien life, and we're, probes on Mars. The government isn't actively looking for Bigfoot, right? We don't see that. And all of the footage of Bigfoot is almost, right? Except for Patterson-Gimlin, except for that. And I'll give credit where credit's due. That's an incredible piece of film. I've said it many times. But the rest of the Bigfoot stuff, right? Food being taken or disappearing this or footprints in the ground. I've seen Bigfoot footprints, and it's a pretty weird feeling when you see them and you're wondering to yourself, but could they have been put there deliberately by somebody? It's always just a little bit beyond proof, right? Everything is just right there, right at the edge. UFOs are a bit different because I've seen what I have seen. I've seen stuff, but so has millions of other people. We've got so much evidence and things from different militaries around the world. That's a bit different of a situation. Bigfoot, it's always just one step beyond, man. It's just right there.
We had a caller, I think it was last week, that mentioned, what if it is a spiritual type thing? I know the Native Americans, many tribes, believe in, the wild man and whatnot, and it's talked about for thousands of years within their history. What if it is something spiritual? What if it's not necessarily into one dimension, but it can, phase in and out?
Well, that's the thing. That would answer a lot of questions. And I don't have issues with that. In fact, I'm leaning more and more in that direction, that possibly it's something interdimensional that comes in and out and is physical here for, the time that he's here or she's here, but then phases out and goes back. That would take care of so many different things, like no bodies, no bones, no DNA. Nothing like that has been left behind. But
so would you classify that as something like an elf or a fairy or a puckwudgie or something like that?
Well, see, I the short answer is yes. When you have these crazy little experiences and you have one after another throughout life, you stop and it's just you have to eventually just go, there's something else going on here. There's something strange. Do you remember the story about my ring?
Yes.
That disappeared? That is simple, and chalk that up to, that could have been a phone call from last week, right? The story that you just forget about.
Several weeks ago.
I forgot about that story until right now, because there are so many things like that happen. You just file them away, and you just got to step back and think and try to remember things. But that missing ring was a strange experience to go through. And I came at the end of that going, man, fairies are real. And it's like, how do I say that? How do I say that as an adult? How do I hang out with a bunch of my musician friends or friends outside of this community, right? And tell that story with a straight face? You don't do it. You just don't do it. You don't do it. I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. I hope that one day Bigfoot is resolved. That it's just resolved. Right. I don't want to see Bigfoot in a cage at the Washington, D.C. Zoo. I don't want to see that. But maybe we'll find a body. Maybe we'll find bones. And it may be here in the United States. Maybe it'll be in the Alps. Maybe it'll be in the Andes, the Himalayas, up in Siberia somewhere. Where there's been locations all around the world. Every continent has got a Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot story.
Yeah, that's what makes me lean to being on the real side, because there's been so many different accounts by so many different people, credible people across the world. It's not just a localized incident,
Yeah. And the question would be, if it's, could it be Cro-Magnon, living, not extinct, just hiding out? Could it be Neanderthal hiding out?
I would love that to be true.
Yeah, and an easy thing to have happen, and there you go. Thank you for the phone call, Ryan. Enjoy the rest of your night, my man.
Go Beckley Tepe.
Go Beckley Tepe. That's a great way to start off the show right here on Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. And again, Marina, Doug, or Nick? That is the question I want to get out of everybody tonight. And I was watching Twitter here, and Nick got 3, 4, 5 pretty quick votes right in a row. I haven't seen anything for anybody else. Wow, there's another 2 for Nick. So there you go. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Donna from Kentucky.
Hey, Donna, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. How are you?
I'm doing good. Marina, Doug, or Nick?
They're all too good. I can't pick.
No, you have to.
I'm no good at that kind of thing.
You have to.
I am no good at that.
You have to.
I want them all to win.
No, come on. You can't do that. That's like everybody,
I know,
the kids
participation trophies and all that stuff.
Right. That's not fair.
They're all good stories.
No, man, you can't get a trophy for last place. That ain't right. You got to fight for it. Donna, Marina, Doug, or Nick?
I'll pick Doug.
You're going to go with Doug. All right, there you go. All right, Doug gets a vote. What's on your mind tonight, Donna?
I want to send out a quick message, and then I got one more thing to say after that. By the way, I love your shirt.
You love my what?
Your shirt.
Oh, my shirt. What am I wearing tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, the Groom Lake Water Ski Club. That's a good eye, Donna. It's a good eye. Okay, what's up?
Yeah. Okay, this is a message for the entertainment industry, like Hollywood, the music industry, sports, the whole 9 yards. I want to tell them to send a message to all of their friends. If they want to help the black community, then what they need to do is to pull their considerable wealth and their resources and power and the help of all their fans and help clean up and rebuild all these communities that were destroyed with all these riots, and help take back Seattle for people, and then create programs for people and all that, and then stop glorifying all the criminals and all that, because that's not helping black people. I want good for black people.
Donna for president. For president.
No, I wouldn't be a good president, but I want good for black people. I want good for everybody.
Right.
We're all in this together as a whole humanity. we can't move on if we can't help each other.
Nope, that's right. That's right, Donna. Words of wisdom. And that's what's beautiful about the FADERNIGHTs and people like you, because that's the way that you think.
To go along with that, to all these celebrities and all that want to bail out the rioters, the ones damaging, don't do that. That ain't cool. You know, and use that for, like I said, and also for all those that are sitting up there in their mansions and their high-rises and their gated communities with their private security. How dare they say defund the police? We have a right to be safe too, not just them.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And they're good people.
Yeah, the police departments aren't going to go anywhere. I mean, no. Can you imagine? Okay, I'm going to say this before I let you go, Donna. But for all of those out there that are even considering supporting defunding police departments or eliminating the police altogether, let me tell you something. A relative of yours gets murdered. Who is going to investigate? Who's going to investigate?
The police.
No, they're not. Not if you defund and take down and you don't have a police department anymore. You want that going on? Somebody robs a bank. Nobody's going to investigate? Somebody robs a bank. Somebody robs some type of mugging, armed robbery on the streets. What? Who are you going to call? You know, what, and 911 is shut down, and you can't, what are you thinking? Defunding the police or eliminating police departments and replacing them with what? Civilian vigilante groups? That just scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I see all those people are saying defund the police. Let them do ride-alongs with the police. Let them know what they have to deal with. Let them go through some of the training. Put them in their shoes a little bit.
Now, there are things that need to be done, without a doubt. I would say, first off, no chokeholds. No chokeholds. That's it. That's it by anybody, anywhere. And also that any shooting or any discharge of a weapon by a police officer gets fully investigated immediately. Not for a year, not by the police union, not by internal affairs. No. That's the second thing. And I'm being serious about this. There are things that every single officer that is at the scene has to be in control of somebody that is out of control. Somebody's got to be able to go, hey man, chill out. We can't do this. And that and if you're an officer at the scene, like that Cho dude in Chicago, whatever his name is, he's standing there with a crowd yelling at him to do something, and he does nothing. To me, he's as responsible as what's his name with his foot on the neck of George Floyd. And I'm being serious about that. You need to have responsibility. And that right there, those three things, those three things right there, those three things are a huge step in the right direction. Huge step.
That last shooting that happened, though, that was justified because he could have gotten hold of the gun after he tased that officer. He had to do something, or he had gotten hold of the officer's gun. And did God knows what. Right,
okay.
So that cop's being treated unfairly.
Donna, I've heard this.
I saw the video.
Yeah, I've seen it too. But Donna, I've heard this over and over again. And I am going to say this, okay? Rashard Brooks was running away. He wasn't running at them. What is the threat? If a dude is running away from you, what is the threat? I don't see it. I don't see it.
I saw the video with him turning back and shooting at the taser at the cops.
Right.
But
So
he could have easily gotten a hold of.
So what?
But
so what? So what? I'm being very serious here. To say, look, on its surface, Donna, when I had first heard the reports and I saw the video, I said to myself, well, Brooks asked for it. You know, you don't get in a fight. You don't get in a tussle. You don't go and run away from the cops. You're asking for something. You don't grab a taser and turn around and shoot at the cops. You don't do all of this. Bad things are going to happen if you do that. That was my frame of mind. Okay? And I'm with you on that, and I understand that view. But the more that I have seen this and the things that happened before, because it's a 42-minute video, it's not a 10-second video that everybody is watching. It's 42 minutes. And at the beginning of the video, the very, very beginning, when Brooks says to the cops, it totally sober too. He goes, hey, man, I totally get it. You're just doing your job. All right? So, do what you got to do. And he was, that's it. How do you go from that to 42 minutes later with a man dead? That's some crazy training. It just doesn't feel right to me that it escalated the way that it did when it started out the way that it did. I don't know. It's up to a jury and things, but the more that I look at it broadly, I'm just not comfortable with it. Look, if he's running away, let him run. You don't have a shootout with a parking lot full of cars and family and kids. What do you do? I don't know. I just feel weird about it. And the other part, this is the thing. This is and I'm being very serious about this. I would really hate to be a police officer right now in the United States. How did it come to this? Where
I mean, my dad was a security officer for a while, a long time ago. When he was alive, he was killed back in 1973. But I understand. I understand their point, and I understand what point you're saying too.
Yeah, well, we have to look at the broad picture here. We can't have the police forces across this country, which the vast majority are just like you and I. There's people with a job and families, but they can't be riding around in cars thinking that they're going to get shot at, they're going to get their windows broken out, they're going to get called to the scene of a crime and somebody needs some assistance, or maybe somebody is injured and they get called and they're going to show up and a crazy mob is going to, you can't be in that position. And I feel for them. It's just a job. Fire departments are going through this now too as well. It's crazy. I don't know how we can just calm down and start to figure this out. I don't know. So, this guy John just said, Jimmy, he grabbed the cop's taser. I know he did, and he ran away with it. I know that. Yeah, he's running away, firing at him over his shoulder. Yeah, that is really threatening. And John says you need to watch the whole video, dude. I watched everything. I've watched it all. And I'm not saying one thing or another. I'm saying that there is more to this than what one side of the media or social media or people are saying. There's more to it, because I was completely outraged at the beginning. I was like, man, what do you, this is, how do I say this? We were looking at this two different ways. And the evidence of him getting into a tussle with the cops, getting the best of the cops, standing up, getting up, running away with the cops' taser, and then getting shot in the back. Well, that's pretty strong. And it seems like everything is justified if you look at it like that. And then there's everything else that comes in its totality. Watch the whole video. Watch the whole thing. Just watch the whole thing. And that's it. I just don't want to discuss it anymore. I really don't.
Yeah.
This is part of the problem.
I get that out of my system.
I'm with you, Donna.
The entertainment industry, from someone that just watches them, what they should be doing and not bashing everybody and trying to take up for the wrong side and what they should be doing and all. But
yeah, there you go. Hey, Donna, enjoy the rest of your night.
I've got one last thing, and then I'll leave and let somebody else.
Actually, I've got 15 seconds, so it's got to be quick.
Okay. It's a conspiracy theory I made up. It's the elite and all them up top have made up the whole flat Earth theory and the whole Apollo thing just to keep us out of space.
I'll talk to you, Donna. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a great night. Go Beckley Teppy.
Go Beckley Teppy.
And I don't want this show. Listen to me. I don't want this show to become part of what is going on out there in the media. No, I don't. I see the same things that everybody else does. Everybody's emotions is in play. You're going to see what you want to see. You're going to think what you want to think, and that is fine. Okay? All right? All right. Let's just all calm down. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernauts, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go Beckley Teppy.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation. and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're also the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. The question is, Marina, Doug, or Nick? I need a winner by the end of the show tonight. That's right. There's only going to be one. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, how's it going, Jimmy? This is Sean. I'm actually calling with my wife here. She wanted me to call you and tell you a quick story we never told anybody because she thought you and your audience would find it interesting.
Okay, Sean, that sounds good. But what about Marina, Doug, or Nick?
Oh, I want the pitter-patter gentleman. The pitter-patter.
That is Doug.
Yep.
That is Doug. That's a great story. Pitter-patter, man. I loved it. Steven. It's like Steven Spielberg. You know, it's a pretty good story. Okay, what's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Emile.
I spell that.
Emile.
Emile. Okay. All right. What's the story?
All right. We just want to tell you, a few years ago after we got married, we ended up moving. Like right after we got married, we ended up moving up to Northern California with our pit bull to go help out our grandparents.
Okay.
I was going to do construction, and she was doing real estate, doing office work. So they were nice enough to allow us to stay in this apartment that went right out onto the road, and it was a former Sears building, and it was a former bar, like in this old Western town. So we're staying in this apartment. You come up the stairs, big living room, go upstairs to the bathroom. There's 2 bedrooms with no windows. And then one of the bedrooms leads into where they used to have church service, is what we were told, or they used to teach little kids classes, elementary kids. And then there's another door that leads to this little gym area. And then, of course, it goes to the street. Well, it wasn't very long after we started staying there that our pit bull started growling at, corners of the house or the top of the bathroom stairs or where the school area is. So I didn't really think much about it. I'm a veteran, so I can sleep through anything. So my wife used to hear little sounds, little knocks and noises, and our pit bull was acting up. Well, one of these nights where we're staying in our bedroom where the door leads out into the schoolhouse area, we hear somebody running. My wife's laying on the bed. We were about to go to bed. She wakes me up. She's like, there's somebody out there. So I get up. I say, hey, I'm going to go check it out. She follows me. I open the door, go into the schoolhouse, and it sounds like it's kind of coming from the gym area that also leads to the street. So I'm going to go through that door. Before I get to that door, my wife is directly behind me. Something runs. That's the only way I can describe it. It runs into me. At that moment, all the hair on my entire body sticks up, and tears start pouring down my face. I'm standing there. I look behind me. I say, baby, are you seeing this? I say, like, are you effing seeing this? And she goes, yeah, I'm seeing this. And I'm like, okay. And so it keeps pouring. All the hairs, all the hair on my body's up. I say, I don't remember exactly, but I basically say, like, okay, we feel you, we hear you, we're good to go. We don't have any issues. Okay? So we walk back into our bedroom. On our bed is my cell phone because, I went to sleep, had my cell phone. But the second weird thing is, my cell phone is on. Not only is my cell phone on, it's on Google. I pick up my phone. In Google, what's typed into Google is this thing. It's called Captain Jack Stronghold. I've never heard of it before. Never heard about it before, right?
Okay. No.
Turns out, Captain Jack Stronghold is where the Modoc Indians fought the United States Army and kept them away for over 6 months. Okay?
Okay.
Now, we go to bed, wake up in the morning, find out that Captain Jack Stronghold is north of us at the lava beds. Not only that, we find out the next morning the place that we're living in is a Masonic lodge in Alturas, California. The entire time we were staying in a Masonic lodge, and we had no idea. We just thought you would think that story was cool. That's how I knew my wife was down, and that's why I'm going to stay married to her. But we just thought she might find that interesting, okay?
That's Sean, that's a great story. That's a great experience. Did anything else happen?
So from that point where we had that interaction where I could feel whatever it was, and my wife's behind me going in and out of my body, from that point on, we weren't really hearing the running. We weren't really hearing the sounds. The only things that would happen is like we would feel something kind of walk through, and every once in a while I would say something like, okay, yeah, we see you. We got it. Cool. Leave us alone. So we never had any other interactions like that because every other time it seemed like it was good to go. It seemed like we had that one experience, we settled it, and then we didn't have any more issues.
Very interesting and fun at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Give my best to Emil, and thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night, Jimmy.
Bye, Emil. Give me a Gobekli Tepe.
Bye-bye.
Gobekli Tepe, I got you, Jimmy.
You got it, Sean. Have a great night. That's a good one. I don't even know how to respond to that. I would love to have had that experience. I would love what I meant to ask, and it got away from me. Sean, maybe you can post it up on Twitter. When you say something ran into you, did you hear the footsteps coming towards you? And I forgot to squeeze that question in. I was too enthralled with listening to the story. But did you hear footsteps coming at you? Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah.
Hey, JT, how are you tonight?
Very well, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Marina, Doug, or Nick?
Doug.
You're going with Doug because he's from Indy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's from
Sure.
Indy.
No.
Yeah, good. Hey, man, I respect that. I respect that a lot. Hey, a friend of mine posted on Facebook a picture. One of my oldest friends in the world, his name is Bruce, but he posted a picture of him in 1981 when we all graduated high school. His 1969 Mustang, right, out in front of his parents' house, which was in our neighborhood on the east side out there in Cumberland. But anyway, on the front of the Mustang, 1981, Q95 license plate. Right? And
oh man,
yeah. And the old stuff, the old yellow one, Q95, the album station, and that you were not cool in 1981 if you didn't have that Q95 plate on the front of your car. So
right.
There you go. I put one on my mom's car, and so I did.
Cool, huh?
I did. I had to do it. My mom was quite all right with it. All right, JT, what's on your mind tonight?
Nadine Lalich, man. I've listened to that show 3 times now, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
And you guys actually, some of the things you said to her about, most of it's women that are coming out, or will talk about it, or talk about their experiences, and men are holding back. That's right where I'm at. I just can't. I need to get a hold of her. I'm trying to find out, but she's not on Twitter. So
wait a minute. Are you saying you've been abducted?
What?
I
put pictures up there. I put part of my story after I got off the phone with you. I put a couple pictures up there. And,
wait. JT, you've been abducted? I mean, it's a yes or no question.
The thing is, I have no memory. I know what happened up to things. I have missing time going on. And I'm kind of like you. I don't know if I want to know. Yeah. I know I got a chip in my leg. There's a picture of that on. I put it up there last week. A couple people saw it and liked it. You can see the lump on my leg. And it's like, I don't know.
Wow.
And I don't know, and I don't know if I want to know. Like you said, I don't want to know if I want to go through regression and all that stuff, because...
yeah, I find it really
interesting. And
interesting.
I had to do, the first one was in the Marine Corps. I mean, I got it's a long story. I mean, way too long to try to tell it here. There was 3 other guys involved and stuff like that, and we went. I'll just make it short as I can. We went. I can't believe I'm even starting to talk, but see, that's what you do to people. You got the gift, man. You're the man.
I'm listening. Continue. So what happened?
So we were off duty. We were on about in '79. I joined in '78, so just a young PFC, and we were on a field exercise, and we were off duty, off of our watches and stuff. So hey, let's go for a hike. Let's just go explore Camp Pendleton. And late afternoon, and it got dark pretty quick, and I mean it was a dark night. I mean just black as can be, no moon out. And we ran into a rock wall, and we don't know which way to go. We were actually lost on, 315 square mile Camp Pendleton.
Right.
Let's go up this rock wall. Let's just go straight up, one at a time. And I mean, so then you really couldn't see because you were nose to the rocks and just doing some rock climbing without any gear, just barehanded in our military boots on, our Marine Corps boots. And we started to see a glow, it was very quiet. You could hear everybody's breath. I was never afraid. I was just like, I was like, we're lost, not going to make it or whatever. And then, so we, and I probably climbed that wall. It seemed like an hour or more, And the only thing you could hear was each other breathing, and everyone once in a while. And I followed up behind because I wanted to make sure my other guys got up there. So I was the last one of the 4. And I'm like, okay, every once in a while you hear some rocks break free from somebody's boots, and they just say rocks, and you just kind of put your head as close to the wall as you can, hope they didn't hit you.
Right.
And then, so as we got close to the top, though, we could see this faint glow. Okay, cool, hey, well, we found camp, And one at a time, they went over the top, and then when I went over the top last, they were gone, and there was nothing but I can't even really describe how bright the light was. But it seems to me, I wrote it down in my book that couple nights after I got off the radio. It seems to me, and I really thought about it, it seems to me it was about maybe 100 yards away, but it just took up the whole horizon. And then that's it. Then the next thing I know, we're in like a 10-man tent. It's the next morning, the sun's coming up, we're waking up.
Wow.
That's all I remember.
Holy crap.
And then it's been and I said something about the lights at Shasta and stuff like that, I'm coming down 90. I would cut over, I always cut over 58 to 97 and went down through Klamath Falls. And, I mean, you're looking right at Shasta. I mean, in clear night.
Right.
Whatever. And I kind of did what, was it, one of the guests, who's the one that said you were kind of summoning them? Because I just kind of, it's like, took straight off from the ground from Shasta, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what about me? You gonna take me with you? Because I'd be like the first one on the ship, you know, if they said, hey, you want to go?
Right.
I'd be like, I'm all in, you know. And that light shot straight up, and I'm like, I just thought out loud, hey, what? I'm driving my truck, southbound 97, looking at Shasta, and hey, you're forgetting somebody, and all of a sudden, it was like, as fast as it went up from zero to the atmosphere, it was on me, and that's all I remember. And that's, see, now there's a couple times in trucking this has happened to me. You know, the next thing I know, I'm in Reno, Nevada, where I'm supposed to be a day early. If you look at the time and the miles and all that, that I shouldn't be there yet. I should, you know, because you have to take your breaks and stuff like that. You got to take your 10-hour break and all that, and you're there. I'm like, and that's happened several times to me, where it's like, I mean, I left Denver, Colorado, and made it to, and then I was in Portland, Oregon, which was where I was living at the time, 21 hours later. And legally, there's no way you can, I don't think anybody could do that.
Right.
In 21 hours. That's a, you know, especially truck driving. I mean, that's a 2-day trip at 10 hours a day driving legally. Back then it was 10 hours. Now you can do 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to have an 8-hour break in between. Now you got to have a 10-hour break in between those 11 hours of driving time. But, you know, and I'm there, and it's just like, what, you know, and that was another light. And I do the same thing there. I go over up out of Denver when I came back that way, and I wouldn't stay on 80 and 84. I would cut up by Little America there in Wyoming and go up through Montpelier, Idaho, and you come out in Pocatello, then you head back south on 15 and pick up 84 again into Portland.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And up there between Soda Springs and Montpelier, you know, there's a light, and it's just like, boom, this light, and then next thing I know, I'm at a receiver, and they're like, so what, well, you're early. I said, no, I'm supposed to be here, you know. No, you're a day early. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because
and then my dispatchers would ask me, how'd you get there? And I just always blow it off. Oh, I went over 15 like I always do. Or when I went over Lassen Park to Reno to Sparks, Nevada, you know.
Right. Trying to make it up.
And I'm like,
trying to cheat on your log. And see, the thing is this, in trucking, you're always trying to gain time, but you're only gaining 15 minutes here and there, or a half an hour, right? But you don't gain. You don't gain a day unless you're teleporting.
No. Something, yeah. And my dispatchers, how'd you get to Portland in 21 hours? I just took a
shortcut. Yeah, I took a shortcut. Like they're gonna buy that, JT. Come on.
They don't even know. You know, they don't know the routes.
Right.
You know, like that.
Right.
But yeah, I really called in about Nadine, and you know, I'd really like to talk to her more somehow. I'm gonna have to try to really get a hold of her.
Yeah, you can get a hold of her easy enough. But the thing is, back to your point. I've done enough conferences now, and I've certainly done enough interviews, but I've interfaced with enough people, just people that have come up to me and talked to me. And I would say, I don't know if I've had a male, come up to me and tell me about an abduction story. I don't know if that's happened.
I listened to you guys. I listened to that show 3 times all the way through, and I'm like, Jimmy's talking about me. She's talking about me, and I'm like, I can't even believe it. You got it out of me tonight. I'm like shaking my head right now.
Well, see, but it's true though. I've had plenty of women come up and share their stories. I mean, I don't even know what the number is. It's big. Men, I'm just sitting here thinking. I've got Travis
I'm rolling my
Walton.
window down. That's what that noise is if you hear it. Anyway, sometimes these trucks make weird buzzes and stuff when you turn the key on. But
well, listen.
I don't know. It's just like...
Hey, JT. JT, before I let you go, Terry Toll on Twitter, he's a FADERNIGHT. He lives there in Indianapolis. And he said, reach out to him. Just hit him up in Twitter. He's right there.
Okay.
He said he'll at his office, he'll X-ray your implant for free. Just get a hold of him and he'll check it out.
I don't know if I want that done.
Yeah, you do.
I'm hoping it's just some kind of cellulose.
Yeah, well, go. Yeah, go and get it checked out.
All right, I'll get back to him. But there was one other thing, too, that you're freaking me out. I was going to say, between Nadine and you freaking me out with these synchronicities, and I just tweeted one last night, or just now, so you can see that Sunday, what I watched on YouTube is what you watched part of yesterday. And it's like, what? He's talking about Triumph in 83? I was watching, actually, the daisies, the dead daisies, and they just popped up after their thing, then Triumph started. And Triumph, okay, I watched that, And then you said it last night. I was watching Triumph in 83. Like, crazy.
Yeah, totally nuts. Well, listen.
Well, be looking for a package. I sent you a package. I got your address. I sent you a package to that address you gave me.
Yep. I gave you the secret address.
The secret address, right?
I'll talk to you.
Okay, well, I'll look on Twitter, and numbers 624 to 26 to everybody. Go Beckley Teppy, and love y'all.
There you go. JT in Indy. Thank you so much, JT. JT was abducted like 5 times. That's crazy. JT, I know you're listening right now. Get a hold of Terry. Terry, reach out to JT. You guys know how to do it right there on Twitter, and I would love to see that happen. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. Okay, let's go here. Come on. Okay, let's not start playing games. Phone system. Not now. I don't need this now. Okay, let's go here. I'm just going to go to the next caller then. Here we go. Is this going to work? Are we cool? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Uh-oh. We got funny business happening with the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Oh, jeez. Man, here we go. I'm just going to pull up a random number now. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Phone system's getting wonky. It's getting wonky. It's a good thing we're up against a break. And let's see. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? All right, we're getting wonky here. So I'm going to go to a break right here. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. It's Fade to Black. It's Thursday night. It is FADERNIGHT. Open lines all night long. I need your vote. Marina, Doug, or Nick. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernauts, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go Beckley Teppy.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new Paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. It's your calls. I want to know, is it Marina, Doug, or Nick? Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Kevin.
Hey,
And
Kevin.
Nick.
How are you? You're going with Nick.
Fine. How are you?
You're going with Nick.
Going with Nick.
All right. What's on your mind tonight? So you got episode number 7 up, I see.
Actually, I recorded episode 7 today, and episode 6 will go up Saturday.
Oh,
Saturday
I see.
evening.
Oh, so we're out of sequence. I thought episode 7 was now out. So episode 6, you've got
And then 7, yeah.
You've got 7 coming, but 6 is ready to go.
Right, just trying to stay a little ahead.
Yeah, right on, right on. And I can't wait till you get to episode 1000. And we'll talk then.
We'll talk then, right?
Just keep your foot on the gas,
funny,
man.
that's funny.
I know it's daunting. It's daunting,
yeah,
isn't it? Isn't that a crazy number? Right?
1,000 is it? Yeah, 1,000 was crazy because I remember when I called in on the 1,000th broadcast of Fade to Black, and I kept thinking 1,000 shows already.
1,000, yeah, we're closing in on 1,300,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the only reason why I even know what these numbers are is because we upload the podcast, and I'm looking at the current episode number. But Terry just said his vote is for Doug, so let me log that in. I'll let everybody know right now. It's sitting at Doug at. It's still a tie between Doug and Nick. Marina hasn't gotten any votes tonight. I'm surprised about that. There was a lot for her before tonight's show, but there you go. Okay, is that you? What is
me?
What is that? Is that you?
What are you talking about? Is that you?
Can everybody hear that? Wow. Hold on for a second. I'm just going to see if I... Wow. That was actually here. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on with that. That is absolutely bizarre. You can't hear that? Okay, this is bizarre. This is bizarro world going on here at Fade to Black. I have no idea. And let me see if I can do something here. I am going to bring Kevin. Are you there? I'm going to bring Kevin back in. Kevin, are you there?
Yes, still here.
Okay. I've got something going on here. I'm going to see if I can get into my settings. I've never heard things like that happen before. That's crazy. Let's see here.
Sounds like another call coming through.
Yeah, let's see if I can get. Let's see. Let's do this in real time. Okay. Yeah. All that's fine. Let's see. I don't have anything here. That's weird because I've got everything on mute.
Wow, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah.
Other than when I just.
I'm wondering if that went
back on.
Yeah, they're saying that they're hearing it. That is it. Let's see. I don't. Notification sounds are on off. Huh.
Weird.
Yeah, I shouldn't have anything. Okay, now. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold for a second. Just stay right there. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to do this. And yeah, okay, so all of the calls now that are coming in, there's like 5. They're not ringing. It was ringing just a second ago. That was weird for no reason. So, yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm just glad it's not ringing now, which, yeah, it's not. Okay, let's go back to Kevin. Let's see, where is Kevin? Oh, he's not here. Okay, so let's go back. Let's resume with Kevin. Here's Kevin. Okay, everybody, sorry about this. This is fun. It's live radio. But to have that go down in real time for everybody to hear, that's fun. Kevin, you there? There's Kevin. Kevin, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, it's kind of like one ringy dingy. Have you seen The Veil of Night?
No, I heard you talking about it.
Okay, you need to watch it because it's about a radio host, number one, taking phone calls, which is bizarre in the late 1950s. But it's also about a phone operator, and she's like 16, 17 years old. She's the daughter of her mom. Her mom is taking a break from operating the phone system in this small town in Texas. And so she goes in and she's the phone operator plugging in the cables, right?
Old school.
Right. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm plugging in cables. Okay, Kevin, what's on your mind tonight?
Actually, it's a little bit of synchronicity. It's the film, Talk Radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember seeing this years and years ago with, what was his name? Eric Bogosian.
Yep.
With that voice. And it was a different type of talk show, sort of like shock jock, when people would call in and just about anything. And this is what you get on like open lines, unscreened. Of course, I think they screened somewhat, but he went ahead and took the phone calls, and it was really, really disturbing, but it was based upon a true story. This actually happened to I think the guy's name was Alan Berg.
Yeah, that's what I talked about tonight. Yeah, Alan Berg was that was my on this day in history. Alan Berg was shot and killed in his driveway in Denver on this day, and that's what Oliver Stone and Erica based the film on. Talk Radio was the Alan Berg story.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just it was so fascinating, to see. Behind the scenes, and I guess this was in 1988. I watched that and I thought, wow, it's really fascinating that this is talk radio. And again, it was just a free for all overnight show, and the way he did it, I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. The way Oliver Stone did the directing, and moving the camera around like 360 degrees around some of the characters. And it was years later, I tried to find the film. I finally got it. And first thing I did, I almost ripped the entire package. And it was exactly the way I remembered. But it like I said, it was really, really disturbing, that side of it. Because it's not all glamorous. It's a job. It's what you do every night, 4 nights a week. And usually if a guest leaves early, you open up the lines, and you never really know who's going to be on the other end, because we see you on YouTube, bunker cam, whatever. You're there in your bunker, isolated from the outside world, other than what people seeing.
Right.
But that caller on the other end, it's fascinating and scary at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Well, and this is, I've always had, because the way that Eric Bogosian played that role, it was a frightening movie, and the build-up and everything, because I think we all kind of knew what the ending was, but leading up to that, Eric got into that role. And he's a great actor, and I really appreciate everything that he has been in. But by and large, that may be his best movie. He was just in Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, another highly recommended movie. That's a really good movie. That's not an Adam Sandler movie. Everybody should go and watch it. Eric in that, whoo, man, he's such a great actor. And you watch Uncut Gems, and you go back and you think about talk radio, and you think about how great of an actor he is. But he really got into that role of the overnight talk radio guy, and how he was intentionally just trying to make people angry, right?
Remember how his character actually got the job and what he was doing before, and the guy that was actually doing the show was just real nonchalantly doing, and he come in and he upstaged the guy and just pushed forward and basically took his show over.
Yeah, and we have to, just like anything else, like if you're out in public and you get into a confrontation with somebody in line at a supermarket or at a gas station or whatever, just out in public, you don't know anything about these people. You know, and
Right.
you may how do I say that? You may be angry and you want to stand up for yourself and you want to do this and you want to be the man and you know and be all mine. You don't know who you're dealing with. You just don't. And you just have to be careful. That's not the way to go through life. And it's the same thing like what Berg did or Eric Bogosi in talk radio. You don't know who you're messing with. You don't know who's on the other end of the line, and just show everybody respect. Be very, very careful. I always think about talk radio. I think about that movie a lot.
Well, there's a little side note. There's an actual, real radio guy who does a commercial in that film, and he's from Dallas, Texas. John B. Wells used to do Coast to Coast AM.
And so, what's your point with that, though?
Well, he not integral to the movie, but he just did like a voiceover.
Oh, I got you. Oh,
yeah.
so so John B. Wells is in talk radio. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know John B. Wells was around back then.
Yeah, I noticed.
Wow.
Yeah, I noticed that voice right off. Like, where have I heard this? Like, you know, movie voiceovers and stuff.
Right.
But it was the whole film. The whole film was just so realistic, and the way it was put together. And I could go 5 years and I could still watch that film, and it just. I mean, it's great, but it's uneasy. Like you said, you never really know who people are.
You don't.
Everybody throughout their daily life, you know, running into people at supermarket, gas stations, whatever. This is what we do. Otherwise, what are we going to do? Stay locked up?
Go back, Lee Tappy. Give me a go back, Lee Tappy, Kevin. Great call.
Thank you, Jimmy. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Go back, Lee Tappy. Thank you so much, Kevin. Kevin from West Virginia. That movie, Talk Radio, it messed with me. And it messed with me a lot. And I didn't know that I would be doing talk radio in the future when I saw the film. It's kind of... I guess the word that I'm looking for here is, it's like synchronicity. It's probably the best way to describe it, that it's synchronicity and that's what's going on. And you go and you see something like that. You don't know what the universe is saying to you, but is it possible that I had, visions of the future? That's why that film impacted me. The way that it did. I don't know. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Ray from Bakersfield.
Hey, Ray from Bakersfield. Marina, Doug, or Nick?
Doug.
You're going with Doug. You're not helping things. It's a dead tie. Ray, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I got to listen to a little bit about this last incident with the police, and I'm just saying, for me, all right, if I was in the officer's position and he was running away from me, I would have just said, "Let him go. Where's he going to go? Home?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I can see that.
Go down and go get a bench warrant. Have somebody go else and pick him up. Wait till he sobers up. What's he going to do?
Yep. And I know adrenaline was pumping, and they just got in a tussle on the ground, and this taser gets grabbed, and everybody is all amped up and everything. But if you really just strip away everything here, you don't shoot a guy in the back running away from you because he was sleeping in his car. I mean, the whole totality of the thing just doesn't sit right with me. Now, I'll tell you what. You want to turn it around? Rashard Brooks is running at the cops with that taser, and he gets shot in the chest. That's a whole nother situation. That's a whole now we're in a different world.
Well, here's another twist for you on it. Suppose there were 2 black officers.
Well, yeah, I know. I thought about all these hypotheticals. What if Richard was a white guy, right? So, and that's the world we live in.
I had to share something with you.
What's that? What's that?
With all that's going on with this MLB or BLM, I've got MIB on the brain right now because of what's going on in Antarctica. Anyway, with the, I saw a sign on the store the other day, a young girl in a car, BLM, and a heart symbol on the back of her car. And I took offense at that, Jimmy, and I'll share why. I was adopted at the age of 5 by a family that owned a 100-acre ranch up in Washington State. It was a pear ranch, pear and apple. And it wasn't uncommon in the 40s and 50s for ranch owners to adopt boys just so they could work on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact of the matter is, I was slave labor. Okay, because that's all I did until the age of 15, and that was as soon as I could get out of there. And I did get out of there. But that was slave labor. And there are no breaks. When you work on a ranch, it's year-round. I mean, if you're not changing sprinklers and digging pipes and all that kind of stuff, you're trimming trees in the wintertime. And that's all winter long. It's nonstop. So, anyway, I know a little bit about slavery from my own personal experience. And I'm just wondering how many of these people out on the street, they got the freedom to go out there and do whatever they're doing. I don't have that freedom now. I don't, number one, I don't want to do it. Number two, all lives matter, and they're missing the point. My stepdad, we had one black family in town. They lived right next to us. We lived 3 miles out of town. The closest neighbor was 3/4 of a mile away. And my stepdad called them the darkies. And I'm like, what the crap is this? And I suspicion, and I'm only about 12 years old, 12, 13. And I said, what's this all about? And we got into a little discussion. And it was like, how come this guy's biased? Why is he prejudiced here? What's going on? And I have no idea on his past background. But he finally ended up saying to me, he said, well, you wouldn't marry one, would you?
Yeah,
and I turned back to him.
Look.
I turned back to him.
Well, hold on,
Ray.
Let me just say this. I respect what you're saying. I don't want the show to go into that zone, but I'll say this. There are multiple generations that are alive right now. We're talking about people that were. Hold on. Let me finish though. Let me finish. We have if you were born in the 90s, today you're 25. 30 years old. You're already an adult. If you were born in the 2000, today you're 20, 21 years old, and you're an adult. But they don't have any clue, they don't have the knowledge that some of us still have from the 60s and the 70s. And even that, you and I are completely different from our parents and our grandparents, because now we're getting back to people that lived in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, different world. But
yes.
I can't be held accountable for the retardedness of past generations. I wasn't part of it. And any more than if I walk up to somebody that is, from Japan, and I go, I want to pick a fight or get angry because of Pearl Harbor and hold them responsible. It doesn't make any sense. What we have to do is not talk about the past. We need to recognize what is going on today. Today. And the future, today, right now, in the now. That is the concern. We cannot move forward if we're constantly focusing about the past. You know, I would love to see accurate numbers, real numbers of how many black men are killed by police officers and how many white men are killed by police officers. What's that stat? What I mean, I really want to know. It's like nobody really wants to talk about that, and that to me is where we are at. What is that stat? That's today. That has nothing to do with the past. Has nothing to do with the past. Hey,
I'm in 100% agreement with you. And what I was getting to, kind of along in the round, was that my response to him was, if I was in love with them, I don't care what race they are.
Well, yeah, but
I'd marry them.
But I just don't. I don't want to go there with that kind of tone on the show. I just don't dig it. Hey, listen, Ray, give me a go, Beckley Teppy.
Well, let me ask you one question, Jimmy. And the reason that I called, Antarctica, France picked up over 95,000 square miles down there last week. And there's some talk about some strange things going on. I just wondered if you'd heard anything.
No, I haven't heard anything about it, but I'll look into it and I'll see what I can find out, though.
Well, it's all good here. This is what I'm saying. Is I got nothing against anybody, no ill will on anybody, and I love your show, and it's just some things are just sad, and we'll get through it.
Yep, I agree with you, Ray. I totally agree with you. Give me a go, Beckley Teppy.
Go, Beckley Teppy.
Thank you, Ray. Ray out in Bakersfield. I didn't know about France taking over anything in Antarctica. So if anybody here knows about it, I would love to find out. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
It's Eric from extreme upstate New York.
Hey, Eric. Marina, Doug, or Nick?
What?
Marina, Doug, or Nick? Eric.
Marina.
You're Marina, Doug, or Nick? I need votes.
Marina.
Oh, you're going
Marina.
You're going with Marina, Mount Vesuvius. What's on your mind? Yeah, what's on your mind tonight, Eric?
Well, I got 5 things. Well, I didn't know this was a contest night, but is that an RE20 on your boom, or are you just glad to see me?
Yeah, exactly. And you've got a good eye. This is a Rode Procaster. It's a knockoff it's a knockoff of an RE20. Basically the same microphone.
I was wondering about that for a long time.
Yeah, I use an RE27 over at Coast. Not an RE20, but an RE27, and I like it. But it changes my voice a little bit. It doesn't sound like me, whatever I sound like in the headphones. I'm totally different over at Coast. This mic is it's a dynamic mic, broadcast mic, like a Shure SM7. RE20, and that's what it is, and I love this microphone. So, and I want to thank Rode for sending it to me.
Well, have you considered Neumann's?
What's that?
Have you considered Neumann's?
I have them. I have a bunch of large diaphragm condenser microphones. A bunch. I just don't like condensers. My voice is too loud, and I pop the diaphragms. I just can't get it to. I can't get it to chill out enough. Dynamic mics, you can yell, and you'll never, mess with the diaphragm. So you're okay with the dynamic mic. I prefer the sound.
Well, I've got a funny story about Neumann's. This goes back. 40 years now. I worked in a recording.
Okay, you keep dropping out, Eric.
Oh, I'm okay. Let me position here. Tell me when is good.
Okay, Eric, listen, I've got 60 seconds before the commercial. So really quick, why'd you call in?
Oh, well, okay, about the microphone and Erwin Schrodinger's statement.
Oh, man, you keep dropping out, Eric.
Oh, well, I'm not... Okay, I'm trying to get good coverage here. Okay, Erwin Schrodinger said that the number of minds in the universe is 1.
Schrodinger said that.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know that that was a quote that is attributed to Schrodinger. Ah, that's interesting. Oh, man. Eric, you're dropping out, my brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
listen,
well, okay, whatever it takes.
Okay, you're dropping out, man. I don't know what's going on. He's got some kind of issue with his what I think is his speakerphone, and you can't have a speakerphone on when you call into Fade to Black. You just can't do it. Don't do it. Don't be on a speakerphone. It's just not the way that things are done here. Because noise gates come in, you don't know that it's, and you're backing off. You've got settings on your phone. Maybe it's your microphone. You've got noise canceling and things that are going on. You just can't do it. Can't do it. So with that, I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back with more of your phone calls. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night, open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. If you're on hold, stay right there. More of your phone calls are next. I want to know, Marina, Doug, or Nick. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482? No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night, open lines all night long. And I do want to hear from you. I want Marina, Doug, or Nick. Excuse me. Marina, Doug, or Nick. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, man, this is Trevor from Curl Stream, Illinois.
Hi, Trevor. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Marina, Doug, or Nick?
So is this about the contest from last week?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go with Nick.
You're going with Nick. There you go. All right. What's on your mind tonight, Trevor?
All right, so last week, he was the one with the orange orb, right?
I believe so. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Nick was the orange orb, yes.
Okay, so I was listening last week. I was listening a little bit later. I was out celebrating for my birthday, and I was thinking, I should have called, but I didn't know this was all going on. I started hearing him. He calls in, and then all of a sudden he says he's from West Chicago, Illinois, which is the town connecting to Carroll Stream. And my mouth dropped open then, and I was like, this is interesting. What is he going to say? Then he starts talking about orange orbs, and then my mouth dropped open more because I had an incident. I don't know when his took place. I would love for him to find me and contact me somehow. But in 2017, it was either on September 11th or potentially the next day, our dog had passed away. And I remember walking around the neighborhood right up the street from our house, me and my girlfriend, and I'm walking. We're both just, in the days of emotional, turmoil of having to go through what we just did. And all of a sudden, something out of my peripheral, I look over and just, 30 feet maybe in the air, there's this large orange orb crossing just above the tree line. And I look at it, I'm dumbfounded, and then all of a sudden it goes from being bright orange circular 3D, and it fades. So it's like pulsing. So it fades down to it doesn't disappear, but it just fades down, and then it, powers up. I don't know what you would call it, back to its bright orangeness, and then fades down one more time, and then goes back to normal brightness, and then turns down a street that's just, maybe 40 feet in front of us. And the trees were right in front of my face. And, I yelled out, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell was that? And she looked at me and goes, what was that? What? And I was like, are you joking? You didn't see that? She's like, no, I was looking at the ground. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I ran up the street thinking, clearly, I'm going to see this, thing going down the street. It was going like, 20 miles per hour or something. It was just kind of gliding through the air.
Right.
And I ran up the street. I looked down, I had a clear shot because it was at the top of a hill. I had a clear shot down the street, clear open skies. And there was absolutely nothing. I had no idea where this orange orb had gone, and to this day, I don't know, it creeped me out. I've had so many things happen paranormal in my life, but that was so bizarre, you know, and then having someone not see it with me really drove me mad.
Right.
But I remember thinking also, like, well, am I nuts? You know, like, I'm emotional. I'm having a hard time right now. We're outside walking around talking because we're emotional. And then I'm thinking, you know, my rational brain's starting to go off. So my rational brain's like, well, maybe it was what are those called? Drone. And I'm like, no, it was dead silent. There wasn't one sound that came out of this thing. What's creepy is that the next day, literally in the exact same area, I'm out walking around again with her. There's a loud sound of propellers, and there is a drone up above in the air, just floating there. And I ended up going around the block and seeing that just a block and a half away, some guy was controlling it. But I mean, why did that happen? I think we live in a matrix, but I don't know.
Yeah, what are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? Very, very interesting that you guys were in the same part of town, though.
That's what creeped me out. Because it was like, you know, when these things happen to you, I remember you always saying when you saw your beer can sighting in the mountain, you know, it gives you kind of rationale to your brain and thinking, well, someone else saw it. I'm not crazy. You know, I'm not losing my mind and seeing things. It was the same size also that Nick had said it was. I always used the reference of what looked like maybe a basketball, you know, just floating through the air. And I don't know when he had his sighting, if it's anywhere near the time that I saw it, 2017, either on September 11th or maybe the next day. I can't really recall. That's mind-blowing. Either way, it's like, I kept thinking to myself, what are the odds also? I'm listening to a radio station I've listened to for years.
Right.
I have a person calling from practically down the street from me. And then not only that, he sees this stupid thing that I saw also, that I have, you know, I can't describe what that was. You know, that makes absolutely no sense to me. Because I also had another, just a little after that, I had another incident, a longer incident that was inside of a cemetery with a friend of ours. And without going into all the details, there was a bunch of weird things happening, but we were standing there because I thought I saw a light, and I did. I don't know if there was woods out there. He had been there before I hadn't. He said that there was woods in front of us, and I had seen a light go through the woods, and it kind of looked like you know, my brain's rationalizing, oh, that must be a motorcycle or something going over bumps through the woods, because it's kind of just bobbing and going through the woods real slow. I didn't hear anything. But then there was like a time loop. I see the exact same thing happen again. And this time I thankfully have someone with me. He sees the same thing again. I said that was the exact same pattern that, you know, at the time I'm thinking a car just did that. And then all of a sudden, we see two tiny, and we were kind of a distance away, and these trees were, I don't know how tall trees are, you know, maybe 40-something feet in the air. We see two orange orbs above the tree line, and then just faded out. They're gone. You know, so are these things intelligent? Are they something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured I had to call, you know, and screw your brain as much as I just screwed mine from last week, that here we're listening to the same station. We're down the street. I don't know when he had his experience, but did like this orange orb traveled, a few miles over to his house.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But see, this is the thing, and I feel like I'm hearing myself talk right now. And all we can do is accumulate the experiences and remember them and talk about them. What they are and what is going on, we don't know. And I certainly don't have any answers. If that beer can, which is crazy enough, but just to have Steve Murillo go, I see it, it's spinning. Right? That's all I need. Okay, I'm not crazy. Right? I'm not crazy. Okay, it's all good. I can just calm down. This is really happening, and which I didn't calm down. But to have him say that, and everybody else that was there, but he actually said it out loud, and I've got a recording of it. Lucinda shot a video of the moment. She didn't capture the beer can, but she captured the after moments of it, and I'm just really glad that she got my reaction. And she got Steve Murillo describing what he had seen. And I have that. So, hey, Trevor, give me a Gobekli Tepe.
Gobekli Tepe. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
And how strange is that this went on right there in his part of Chicago? That is just amazing to me. That's amazing. And if he's hearing that, the same description, right? Basketball-sized orb, that's real cool. And for him to have that, and then to hear somebody else call from the same part of town describing this, I think we all need that. I have yet to have anybody present or talk about what we saw up above Mount Adams that day. I can't describe it any other way than I have so many times, but it was ginormous. It was 14 miles away, and by the size of the peak of the mountain, I'm going to continue to have the same statement over and over again that I have had, which is it was probably 400 or 500 feet tall, and that's the only way that I find myself describing it. And I haven't had anybody, video, photographs, or another eyewitness account describing the same thing that we saw that day. But we all saw it together, and that's the coolest part. All right. Let's get back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, how you doing?
You need to talk into your phone.
Can you hear me? I got a headset. I'm stuck driving. I don't know how well this headset works.
Okay, I can hear you enough, but since you're driving a truck, I'm going to let this happen. Who's calling?
My name's Ruben. Hey, I spoke to you last week. I had called you regarding my father, the one who was making faces through the roof.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How you doing, Ruben?
Hey. Oh, not too bad. Hey, this isn't regarding that. This is just, I get a lot of time to think when I'm driving in my truck. And this has to do with disclosure. I hope it doesn't sound crazy or stupid, but I was wondering, you know how Linda Moulton Howe has said in the past that we could be one big science project, like a petri dish, an experiment going on. Could it be the reason why we don't have disclosure is for the simple fact that if we are one big giant petri dish, the aliens, whoever it is, doesn't want us to be interfered with any kind of outside sources because it would possibly ruin their experiment.
Well, why wouldn't that be a possibility? I mean, that just makes an awful lot of sense. And it's kind of like the prime directive, right, from Star Trek. You know, you encounter an alien species on another planet, you don't interfere. You just don't do it. You don't. You let them do their thing. I think that's pretty solid. You know, I don't have another way to look at it but that. And I'm okay. You know, being observed, because we would do the same thing, Ruben. I would hope that we would do the same thing. Let me put it to you that way, that we would just observe, just like we go into nature and observe. You know, bird watching, but you don't want to interfere with what the birds are doing or what the bees are doing or deers or elk or wolves. You just leave them alone in their natural habitat. Same thing, you know, with ET or the way that they would be observing us. I would think, you know, but hey, we don't know yet. Hey, Ruben.
No, I hear you.
Be safe out there on the road.
I will. Hey, thank you for your time, Jimmy. Go Beckley Tepe, brother.
Go Beckley Tepe, Ruben. And we love our truck drivers, man. We love our truck drivers. All of you. Everything that you guys and gals are out there doing, keeping this country running is we can't be thankful enough. We just can't. Okay, so thank you, Ruben. Be safe out there, and go Beckley Tepe. And let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Let's try this. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, it's Eric from Ellenburg Depot, New York State.
Didn't you just call?
Well, I wanted to complete the story. I was using a cell phone, and it kept cutting off, and I want to tell you the story about the Neumanns. It'll be brief.
Okay.
You can get on to the next callers.
Okay.
Okay, so it was 1980. I was working in the biggest studio in Milwaukee, and I know you know where that is. And we had Telefunken 247s, as you know about Frank Zappa, mentioning them, and the Neumanns, and we had to send 3 in for repairs. And UPS had just begun back then. So we took 3 microphones up to UPS. We had to drive to Brookfield, Wisconsin with them and send them to Germany for repairs. And as you know, they can only return them to the registered owner, right? And if you don't match that, you know, they'll send them back to the original owner, registered with them. Anyway, so we get to UPS in Brookfield, which was 25 miles away. And we put him in a little package and said, "You want to insure this?" "Yeah." "For how much?" $5,000. And I said, "What's in here? Open it up." So it's microphones. So that was the deal. They thought we were transporting drugs or something, and it was microphones.
There you go. That's a funny story.
Okay, story. I'll let you go. I know you got a lot of callers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Go Beckley Tepe.
Gobble tea.
You got it. And yeah, microphones are expensive. There's no question about it. You got to insure those things going through the mail. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, what's happening?
Who's this?
This is Brian in Omaha. How you doing,
Brian.
man?
How you doing, Brian? Everything good?
I'm good. Hey, first things first, right?
Marina, Doug, or Nick?
Marina.
You're going Marina.
I'm going Marina.
Right on. What's on your mind?
Well, last week you started the show. You started Fader Night by talking about your guitar and how you heard the strings. And it is a thing that I do like almost every night after the show, where I take this jazz Dunlap 3 and I do that like at the end of the show every night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Right on.
Anyway, the other thing that maybe we've talked about this, but going back again to last week with the topic of last week, I remember last fall, and there was, I think we spoke about this once before, but I remember last fall, and I had that thing going on with my pet dog, and I had a lot of blood. She was bleeding like really, really bad. And what ended up happening was I couldn't stop it, and I didn't know what to do, and it was the weirdest thing. She kind of went off into her doghouse. I'm not trying to be dragged. This has a good ending. Anyway, she went off into her doghouse, and I figured that was it because there was just so much blood going on. Anyway, when I checked on her later in like an hour, she was like totally fine. Everything was totally cool. And the thing that I've never said is that the next day, I think she made it a couple of weeks, but the next day I was in my garage and I just couldn't believe that what had happened, and the dog had lost like so much blood that I just didn't even know how she was standing. I mean, she was like bleeding like out of her nose, right? And it just stopped, Jimmy. It just like completely stopped. The next day I was standing in my garage, and it was early morning, and I'm just looking at her. She's completely fine, like nothing happened. And I just looked at her, and I'm like, how is this even possible?
So what's the good ending?
Well, I don't know. A really awesome producer at the same time when I said, how is this even possible? At the same time, I got a knock DM on Twitter from a really awesome producer. And it was like so out of the blue. It just kind of threw me, but it was a video on invisible acts of power. And it took me like, I think an hour and a half to listen to that. And I think process everything that had happened in the last 12 hours. I don't know. It was just really, not ironic. I guess, I don't know. The timing of it was just too pristine.
Yeah,
it was
yeah, and you have to recognize it when it happens. Yeah, you just have to stop and get into the moment and appreciate, what is happening. So many people. I mean, when I say so many, I'm talking about the whole planet, right? Because our community is small. Even if it's millions, it's still small. There's 7.5 billion people on this planet. Our community that recognizes and appreciates and will stop and stop in the moment and absorb it, we are small. The rest of the planet, this stuff happens, it blows right past them. They don't have any idea. They don't.
That's really why I wanted to bring it up, because it was very powerful, and I was just like, you're kidding me. I mean, the DM like directly said knock knock. I mean, it was like a wake up, dude. I guess I never said it out loud, and I just wanted to thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Brian. Give me a go Beckley Tappy.
Go Beckley Tappy, man. Take care.
I'll talk to you. There you go. We have to always stop in the moment. Stop in the moment. Recognize. Know what's happening. Things happen all the time. They happen all the time. You got to stop in the moment. That a little conversation about my missing ring. Now, that memory it just came back to me. I haven't talked about it in probably 2 or 3 years. But what if I didn't stop and think that whole thing through? What if I didn't do that? What if there weren't any conversations about fairies and missing keys, which was going on, by the way, with other people, but at that moment. But what if those conversations never happened and the ring was just lost, fell off my hand, but the ring is lost, found, returned to me, and that was it? That kind of stuff happens all the time. Think about that. I was able to just stop in the moment and think about all the other synchronicities that were happening. So there you go. I'm going to take a break right here. More of your phone calls are next. This is Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA. The Planet. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app. Free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night, Fader night. Best night of the week. Best night of the week. Hanging out with all of you, taking your phone calls. I'll get to everybody. I'll just throw out the number again, 747-228-2051. I'm going to try to get everybody in, though, before the end of the show. Okay? All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Eric. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, Eric. How are you, man? You in the hospital?
Still in the hospital, yeah.
So you're calling us from the hospital bed?
Yeah, they just gave me my Ativan. I guess that's what they call it to calm your nerves.
Ativan. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure.
Yeah, I never heard of it either, but that's what they give you. They offer me that Dilaudid or morphine or Ativan. So
take all the good stuff. Take all the good stuff, man. Oh, man. I got in a car accident 10 years ago, and I'm there. I'm in the hospital, head-on collision. And the nurse comes in. I was in pain, like you couldn't imagine. She goes, okay, you want some morphine? I'm like, bring it. I was just like, let's go, man. I don't get this opportunity often, so let's just let's light this candle. And I felt pretty good within minutes. So there you go.
Well, the Dilaudid is 10 times stronger than the morphine, and they gave me that first, and then I said, this stuff is insane. I said, I'll just do the morphine, and then I said, this stuff is insane. So I'm on the lowest level. I don't like to take too many of the chemical drugs, and I'll smoke a little bit. But
well, the point is really simple. You're in pain. You're in the hospital. It's legal. Do it. Just do it. You won't be doing it once you get home. So, but all kidding aside, I jest. But the question is, how are you feeling, and what's the prognosis? Can you talk about it? What's going on with you?
Yeah, it's getting better because they put this tube in me, and I could see what's coming out. They keep my stomach constantly empty because this one was weird. They said, you got ulcers. I go, ulcers, like more than one? She says, you got many ulcers. I go, many ulcers? How many ulcers? She goes, you got a lot of ulcers. I said, what? I says, well, how many ulcers? And she says, a lot of them. And I said, oh, that's like a nightmare. And I'm not joking. She says, you got them in your throat and you got them in your stomach. And I thought, and she says, one of them has got a perforation that's causing a hole in your stomach, and it's causing air to leak into this area. That was giving me the hiccups. And anyway, so they put all these tubes in my arm, and they're giving me all this medicine to heal me to get without having. So in other words, I haven't been able to eat, but they've given me this high tech nutrition. Everything is like I'm a super soldier. I'm being fed intravenously through all these machines. Never in my life have I had this experience. That it's given me a new perspective on things. So, it's sometime I'll laugh about it, but it's when you're going through it, it's not funny,
So again, let's take this a step further. What's going to happen when you get out of the hospital? What are you going to eat? How are you going to eat? I don't even know. How do you take care of an ulcer?
Special diet. Like I've already been researching what I got to eat and what I can't eat, and I can't have alcohol. I can't have. There's a whole bunch of things I can't have because it'll just. Bottom line is, this is a best case scenario. The ulcers can heal. It'll take a few months. So, and they will heal. My body's already healing. I know I'm healing. I already feel, even though I'm not 100%, I feel better every day.
And
but really, the reason I called you, we could talk about this, but the reason I called you is probably going to blow your mind because it has nothing to do with anything we're talking about right now.
I'm listening.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you the story. I'm gonna tell it short because I know there's other callers, and maybe other time we'll tell the whole story. But as you remember, I called you a couple weeks ago from John Polk's house in Sedona, and I told you we're going to go camping up at Happy Jack, and look at the UFOs and hunt for Bigfoot. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason why I went back, which from my house to Happy Jack is 14-hour drive, is because about 3 weeks prior to that, we went up there, John Polk and myself, and Raw and Krista. And I think I told you about that. And the things that we were seeing with the naked eye, without even the night vision, it was mind-blowing because, I mean, you and I together have seen these things. So that didn't blow my mind, but it was so beautiful to be able to be there and see these things so close. And I don't want to drag this on. So the point is I was just so compelled to go back. So that's why I went back. And I said, John, you're going to go with me. We got to go back. I want to see what we saw again. I just want to know that if this is a regular occurrence happening up there, or if that was just we got lucky and we just happened to see these things. But the main thing that really intrigued me more than anything was the sounds that we heard. The first time we went with Raw, we heard 3 times these sounds that they all believed was what people refer to as the Bigfoot. I heard the sounds. I didn't know what they were. I can't say it was a Bigfoot because I don't know what they were, but I just know they were strange. I'd never heard them before, but it intrigued me, and I just wanted to go back and see if I can hear them again. So anyway, I'll get to the story now. So that night I called you. It was Thursday night. The next day was Friday. John and I went up there camping. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. He took his truck. He sleeps in his truck. I took my van. We went up there, and, we're drinking beers and partying and whatnot, just the two of us, having a good time, having a little campfire. And we walked around the area, and I did post a picture earlier of this spot that we found that had what some people would refer to, in their opinion, as like a Bigfoot nest, that it had all these trees kind of broken in branches and leaves and a little cave kind of hole. Man, it looked like it was obviously created. They didn't just fall this way. This was created by something. I don't know what it was, but it was created by something. And we saw this thing, and I thought, man, this is what I've seen in my research about these Bigfoot, coves or whatever. And so, we kind of joked about it, and it was only about maybe a mile from our campsite. So we left, and so that night we're out there, we're in the sky, we got the night vision, we're seeing the UFOs again. We're not hearing any of the sounds that we'd heard the previous time, and we stayed up late, probably at least 1 o'clock, and we were pretty toasted. So we go to bed. John gets in his truck. He sleeps in his passenger truck, and he sleeps. It was a nice night. It wasn't that hot. And he had the window cracked slightly, but he wasn't right next to me. I'm in my van. I've got all my windows closed, and I'm guessing. And then all of a sudden, John's horn starts going off, and I pop up and I look out my window that's tinted, and I didn't have my glasses on, and I didn't I was kind of still a little buzzed. I didn't really know where I put them, and I'm looking over at John. And you're not going to believe this. I'm like, a little choked up. Just bear with me. And I see John. It looks like, I don't know if something had a hold of him or he was trying to crawl off the window. But he was trying to get out the window, but the window that he had it wasn't open enough for him to get out the window. And so I'm tripping out because I'm thinking something's going on here. I can't see what it is, but I knew something was going on. So I hop up and I couldn't find my keys. So I just hammer my horn. And then all of a sudden, John kind of his body slips back into the truck. And then I'm looking. And then, you're not going to believe it. It was so dark, I couldn't make out what the figures were, but they were huge. There were 2 of them. And John's truck was about 20 feet from my truck, and the fire was out, so there was no flame, there was no light to really see anything. And these things are coming towards the side of my van. And I really went into panic. I wasn't sure what to do. If I could have found my keys, I would have drove away. And my windows are 6 feet tall. The top of my van, when you hit, because it's got that lift up top, it's about 8 feet at least. When they got up to the van, they must have been pushing on the top of my van, and their bodies were up against the van. That I couldn't even see their faces. They were just pushing the van, rocking it.
What?
And at one point, I mean, this happened so quick that the wheels, they felt like they were coming off the ground. And I'm thinking, these guys are going to flip this van over, whatever these things are. And so I panicked. I thought, man, I'm going to get out of this van. I don't know. I just didn't know what to do. So I had my no shoes on. I had my sweatpants on, my sweatshirt, and I popped open my side door. And they couldn't see me because they were so tall that they couldn't see me because their heads were not looking in my window. And I went on a full sprint to the road, and I probably sprinted about 200 yards in about 30 seconds or maybe 25 seconds, as fast as I could. I just figured I'm just going to run as fast as I can, and hopefully they won't know that I went out the side of this van, and they're not going to come after me. And so I'm running, and I'm out of breath, and I'm like hyperventilating, and I'm starting to slow down, and I'm thinking, man, are they coming after me? And then all of a sudden, something hits me from behind, and I didn't even know that whatever it was, I didn't even know it was already there, and it knocked me down, and I went flat on my face. And in that moment, I hear John's truck fire up. I look to the side, I see his lights come on, and he's got his horn on now, and I can hear him peeling out of there, coming onto the road towards me, because I was in the middle of the road now, and I think thank God for that, because whatever these things were, they took off. They didn't bother with me at that point. They just took off. And so John pulls up. He says, get in the truck. So I jump in the truck. I didn't even care about my van. I mean, we're 2.5 hours from Sedona. We're 7 miles off the grid in Happy Jack. And so I get in the truck, and we fly down that mountain back to Sedona. And we were in shock. I mean, we weren't even talking. And we got home. It was about 4 or 5. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning, because all this happened about 3 o'clock, I would say. And we just started drinking. And we didn't stop drinking all into the next day. And we just got totally hammered, trying to forget what had happened. And I'm sure that not the event that happened, but all that drinking that I did for 2 days at his house probably caused those ulcers, because 2 days later we agreed that we weren't going to talk about it, because he said no one's going to believe us. They're going to think we're nuts. We're going to think we're making this up. And I said, you're right. I said, I don't think I want to tell this story, even though it's a great story. And so we agreed not to talk about it. And then I'm at his house, and I'm thinking, man, I got to get home. I don't feel good. My stomach is killing me. I was throwing up. I got to get home. I knew I was going to have to go to the hospital. It took me 3 days to get home from Sedona. And then when I got home, I threw up for 2 more days. Finally, my neighbor was hearing me throwing up. He comes and knocks on the door and goes, Eric, are you okay? And I said, no. I said, can you call 911? He calls 911. This was Friday. This past week, a week ago. The ambulance came, and of course I didn't tell them anything. And that's what happened.
Wow.
Scared the shit out of me.
Wow. I got nothing, Eric. I got nothing. I know. I got nothing. A couple of things to note in this whole thing. You ran and left Polk alone. You left him back at the campsite.
So he was in his truck. You see, they left him.
Right.
Because I was honking my horn. They figured we're going to shut this fucker up with his horn. So they came towards me.
Right.
But in a way, I saved his ass, and he saved my ass back. Sorry to say ass, but anyway.
Well, okay,
yeah,
Eric.
I was afraid for my life, Jimmy. I thought that they kept
I know.
over.
I know.
What if it landed in the fire and the band caught on fire and blew up? I mean, I was pretty close to the fire, and it was still coals there.
Sure.
Sure.
I'm not blaming you for anything. I would have done the same thing, actually. It could have been you in your van. I would have left you. But let me get back to a couple of specifics here. And when are we talking about Bigfoot, or are we talking about entities? What are we talking about here?
Well, if I had to guess, they call it the Mugion monster is what they call them. And I'd researched about it, and I don't know that that's what it was, but if I had to make an assumption, it was the Bigfoot. They didn't look like aliens, that's for sure. And no, I don't think they were aliens. But who knows? I mean, it was. I couldn't tell you exactly what they were, but I just know that they weren't humans. That's for sure.
And were you able to see eyes or faces?
I could see the outlines of. I mean, they were very hairy and very dark. They were dark black, very hairy. And huge, and I didn't see eyeballs, because I was moving. I was in my mind, when I'm on the horn, and then as soon as I saw them turn, they weren't looking at me. They were kind of the direction they were looking. I wasn't seeing eyes, and then that's when I ducked down. I ducked down, thinking that maybe they'll come and look in the window and they won't see me and they'll go away. And then they must have seen me because they were rocking that van. And then I looked up, and I could just see these huge hairy bodies pressed up, 2 of them pressed up against the van, and I know they were pushing it from the top of the van. And so the weirdest thing is it took me. We didn't go back to get my van for 3 days because we were both afraid to go back, and there was no damage to the van. Because, they must have just, however they were doing it, they would just have their hands on it, and they were pushing it. And, part of me thought, well, let's do some research, and let's check this out, and da-da-da-da. But I was still so freaked out, I just wanted to get out of there and go home.
Do you remember when Lorcan O'Toole was telling us about his Bigfoot experience?
No.
Okay, well... what was interesting about that, when Lorcan told us about that, now I had him on Fade to Black, and I had him on Coast to Coast too right after that to tell the story, but that morning, because it happened at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and that morning Rita and I bump into him at 8 o'clock in the morning, and next to our car or SUV was this van. And Lorcan said that the Bigfoot stepped out from behind the van, and it was he was taller, the Bigfoot was taller than the van. And I'm standing with him, and Rita and I are standing next to the van, which already had an extended top on it, right? So it's like you're saying, it's like 8 feet, 7-8 feet high. And I'm standing back picturing this black, giant standing in front of the van. And he said that that was his only reference. It was the van that we're standing next to is where his sighting was, his encounter, which happened just a few hours before. It was the same van right there. So I'm able to get this visualization. But for him to describe the size of this creature like that, it's like you can't wrap your head around it because that's big.
It had to be. These things were at least 7 feet tall, but they were massive. They were like on steroids. And John said that he says one of them had a hold of him, and he woke him up out of a dead sleep, and he jerked away. It just freaked him out. So he was able to get out. I don't know how he broke their grip. He won't talk about it. Matter of fact, he and I have not talked since I left his house.
When you first saw John, okay, so he's got a truck, and when you said that his horn was going off, was that him bouncing off the driver's wheel?
I don't know if he was doing it or I think he was probably pushing the horn, trying to warn me, or just he was out of fear. Just to me, the horn was like, maybe it'll scare him away. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
And he might have been thinking the same thing.
But
he said that was more frightening to him than his alien abductions that he has. He says that scared him more than his alien abductions.
Well, it's scaring me. It's scaring me talking about it. Now, Karen just said you weren't there when Lorcan was there. So, okay, I thought you were. Okay, so anyway, when you looked out the window, you didn't have your glasses on. But when you look out and you see Polk, are you saying that Polk was hanging out of his window, or was he outside of his truck?
No. It looked like one of his arms was partially out, like he had his elbow on the window, and his head was. It's like part of his head was out, but he had pinned himself, and there wasn't enough room for them to just rip him out of there. There wasn't enough of a gap, but had there been, they probably would have. So
that's what I'm saying. So he was still inside of his truck, and you're looking at him getting pulled out of the truck. Did you see? This is crazy, Eric. This is crazy.
I know, man.
But you saw one of these monsters, whatever, Bigfoot. Did you see them pulling on him?
I couldn't, because where he was parked, on the driver's side was the opposite side of where I was.
Now I got you. Now I'm understanding. You weren't facing his door. You were on the opposite side, so you couldn't see actually what was.
Parallel. We were more parallel, and he was parked kind of at a little bit of an angle and away from me, and so it just the angle wasn't right for me to see. And it kind of, when it first started happening, like I said, it tripped me out because I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then when he started pounding, I'm assuming he was hitting the horn. It had to be him.
Mm-hmm.
It just caused me to. Then I started hitting my horn, and I'm guessing we're both thinking that let's just see if we can get these things to leave. And then they got pissed, and I guess they got pissed, and they started pushing on my van, and
wow, that's nuts, man.
Running in the middle of the night on a forest road that's got rocks everywhere, and your bare feet, and you're just sprinting, and you're not even thinking about what you're stepping on. You're just going like there's going to be no tomorrow.
Right.
And,
right.
And I probably had about 12 or 14 beers over that evening, and I don't drink a lot of beer, and we've been smoking and. But I had already sobered up. I mean, I'd been sleeping for 2 hours, so it wasn't like I was buzzed when I woke up. I wasn't still buzzed, but I wasn't in the best of health at that moment. It wasn't like I was like primed to run,
So when you and we're at the end of the show, Eric, and you're in the hospital and everything else, I wanted to talk to a nurse or a doctor. Okay, so much for that.
We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. No, hopefully you're going to be out before then. Is when you sprinted to the road, right? You're 200 yards away. When you got hit, were you hit or pushed?
Well, it felt like a tackle, but I wasn't tackled. It just almost, whatever it was, whether it was his hand or his arm or his foot or something, it just plow, like right in my back, right in the middle of my back, just plow. And I went down fast and hard. And I didn't even, my face went right into the ground. And
now, the audience that doesn't know Eric and has never met Eric is a big dude. How tall are you, Eric?
I'm 6'5", 220.
Yeah, 6'5", 220 pounds. So for
this thing, whatever was chasing me had to be super fast because they couldn't have known immediately. I would think, I'm assuming they couldn't have known immediately that I'd skedaddled out the side of the. I had a head start on them, but they caught me pretty quick.
Unless they were waiting for you. Now, and and so it sounds like a family, right? A pack.
Two. I know it was two. I don't know if there were more than that, but here's what I do remember is a month prior when I was there the very first time, the sounds that we were hearing sounded as if they were coming from two different we'll call them creatures, because they were making sounds off of each other, and man, I just wanted so badly to be able to record those sounds. And every time I'd lift, and I always had my phone in my hand the whole night because I was taking videos of everybody. And as soon as I'd hear the sounds, I'd hold up my phone and they would stop. It was almost like they knew that I was trying to record them.
You know what's funny? You're the Periscope king, and the one time you needed to be Periscoping, right? the one time, man, you have Periscoped. You have Periscoped every meal I have ever had in public. But you didn't Periscope this. Okay, Eric, we're at the end of the show. Will you go...
buddy.
Listen, hold on. Will you go squatching again?
With more people, and I'll be more prepared. I will.
You'll do it again.
I think that, and I'm going to tell you, I don't want to shoot them, but I will. And I've never owned a gun, but I will bring a gun.
Wow.
Because I just figured, and I don't want to shoot one of them, but I want to see it. I want to be able to, and I don't know if I'd be able to film it, but if I could get some cameras set up in the trees, because I found the spot. I know where the spot is, and people keep telling me, tell me where the spot is. Well, it's not that easy, man. You don't.
No. This spot stays between us. Now we got to Now we got to talk Rita. We got to talk Rita into it. If we take 5 or 6 people up there or a group, I think that would be better. But I think Rita would be down. I think Rita would do it.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually get on these roads. They're not bad. You can get a big, like one of those motorhome type units. I mean, you can bring your Jeep, but like you brought when you brought to Issei Ranch, something like that, because they ain't going to push one of those over.
Yeah, they could flip the Jeep, but see, I mean, the Jeep is a good getaway vehicle.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of anything with that Jeep. Eric, I'm so glad that you're feeling better. Please get better. Keep taking the drugs. You don't want to deal with pain. And hopefully you're going to be out of there really, really soon. If you're there next Fader night, then I want to talk to your doctor, okay?
Okay.
I want to get him on the air. Okay, go Beckley Tepe, Eric.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, that's the way to wrap a Fader night. Look, I'm going to let everybody know as I'm running credits. I've probably talked to Eric 5, 6, 7, 8 times over the last week, and he hasn't told me. He didn't tell me anything about. I knew nothing about what had happened. And I talked to him on Friday. I talked to him on Saturday. I talked to him on Sunday. Yeah, a couple times a day. And no, I knew nothing about that. Is absolutely incredible. Well, Eric, I'm glad that you're feeling better. All of the Fadernauts and are with you. And of course, Rita and I send you out all of the thoughts and prayers and the good vibes that you need. Get better. Fade to Black's executive producers. Oh, the winner is Nick. Nick ran away with it. Nick, I need you to write Rita, write me, get a hold of us, and we got to get you your autographed Fade to Black hat. All right? I'll make the announcement up in Twitter, too, as well. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Paul, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2020 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I want everybody to have a great, safe, fun, and amazing weekend. Until Monday, be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.